Good morning students, I am Santosh sir. Today I will tell you about the CSS. CSS stand for Cascading Style Sheet. It describes how documents are present on the screen or on in print. CSS provides easy and effective alternatives to specify various attributes for the HTML tag. Using CSS, we can specify a number of style properties for a given HTML element. Each property has a name and a value separated by a colon. Each property declaration is separated by a semicolon. Let's example. This is the simple HTML programming where we are using to print the hello world in color green and the size 5. It is the simple HTML programming. But when we are going to write the same programming in CSS, it should be written like this: p style is equal to double quotes color colon green semicolon font dash size 24 pixel, and this is the format to write in the CSS for the same program, and the result will produce the similar like this hello world in the green size and the font size is 24 pixel. We can use CSS in three ways in our HTML document. First one is the external style sheet, second one is the internal style sheet, and third one is the inline style sheet. As you have seen yesterday, external style sheet define the style sheet rule in a separate .css file and then include that file in your HTML document using HTML link tag. Internal style sheet defines style sheets rule in header section of the HTML document using style tag, and the inline style sheet it defines style sheet rule directly along with the HTML element using style attribute. So let's see all of these three cases one by one in with the help of suitable example in the video.
Hi, in this video I am going to talk about CSS fundamentals, which includes style types in CSS. So we have three types of style in CSS: inline style, internal style, and external style. We can also call it inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. So let's see the example. So I am going to implement all the three type of styles in this example. So here is the simple structure of HTML, then head tag, and then body tag. I have used in h1 tag, inside of which I have heading of CSS text, right? So if you will see on the output screen, this output, so this is heading of CSS. Now if we will return back to the editor, so right now I want to give some CSS to this heading. For example, I want to change the color of this heading, so that would be possible by using the style attribute. So inside of style I have to write color red, then semicolon, then next property. So next property is background yellow, semicolon. So now if you will see on the output screen, I refresh this page and now the changes are in front of you. So that color of this heading is red and the background is yellow now. So the same thing I can also apply using this was actually inline CSS. Now I want to apply through internal CSS. So how internal CSS work? Actually we have the style tag, so that we can put inside the head tag. So all the CSS I would remove from here, and now if you will see the output, this is simple heading of CSS. Now I want to give some CSS through this style tag. So how? I have used a selector. So if you haven't if you don't know about selector, in the previous video I have discussed about it in detail. So now h1 tag, I want to change the color, for example green. Now and I also want to change the for example border. So border I want to give 2 pixel solid and red. So now if you will see on the output screen, so the changes are in front of you. So the border is red and the color of the heading is green now. So now this was in internal CSS. Now the same thing has been I will try to apply using external CSS. So external means I will create a new file of CSS. So inside of that file I will write the code and then I will implement here. So for example, I have this CSS, I have created this file. Actually again I want to delete this and create a new file, text file, and then style.css. This is the file I have created and this is empty right now. If you will see inside of it, there is nothing inside of it. So I want to apply some CSS on h1. So I will write here, firstly you have to link this particular style.css to example.html. So how that would be possible? You have to write inside the head tag the link tag, and here you have to write the relation attribute which actually mention the relation of this particular file. So that is style sheet, and type equal to which type of file, that is type is text CSS. And last thing that is really important, so I will write it here, href means reference, means where it is located. So I have already saved example.html on the desktop, so style.css is on the same path. So I will write here style.css, and finally I will close the link tag. So now I would write so now my style.css is linked with example.html. If I will change something in style.css, that would directly implemented in the example.html. So now I have to write some CSS for h1 tag. So here I want to change the color, which is cyan, and I also want to give the border to 2 pixel solid and for say example yellow. So now if you will see on the output screen, so this is the CSS that I have given right now. Heading of CSS is cyan and the border is yellow in color. So how that was possible? This was because of style.css, which is also called as external CSS, right? So I have discussed all the types of CSS: inline, internal and external CSS. Now I would share you the difference between all the three. So the difference is in inline style is always specific to an element. For say example, I have given the CSS to this particular tag, so that would always remain applicable for this h1 tag only. You cannot use that style to other elements. So that's why we call it specific to an element. Next is internal CSS. This is specific to a page. For say example, we have more h1 here and another h1 underneath the hood. Then if you will use the style tag inside of style, if you will give some properties to h1, then all the h1 throughout the page would use those properties. So in the sense this particular internal CSS would be applicable for the page, whole page, that would be used throughout the page. Means in the complete page you can use from anywhere those properties. So the last one is external style sheet, applicable to more than one pages. For example, you have a website and you have a common header and footer, and you want to give the CSS to header and footer. So throughout the pages, if you have created a common CSS in the external in the external file, then you have to include that file by link tag. So throughout the website that CSS would be implemented. For example, I have another HTML file, example1.html. Here this is example.html and another file is example1.html. so if you want the same CSS to that file, you can also use this link tag to link this common file style.css, and this particular CSS would be implemented there as well. So this was all about the types of styles. So hope you enjoyed this video and this was really fruitful for you. You have to be clear with all the concepts of style types: internal, inline, internal and external. In the next video we are also going to discuss some fruitful concepts. So we will meet in the next video. So you have to subscribe this channel if not subscribed yet, and like this video and share with the other people. So that's it. Thanks for watching.